This is Rudy, I'm Gemma, and this is Gemma Books. He's decided to come and help me out with my filming today, so apologies for the ginger nose in the frame. So I'm coming at you with a slightly different video today. I'm going to talk through my 2-year-old's top 10 picture books. So for anyone out there that is a parent, you'll know that a select few books become the favourites and you read them 7 million times through the course of a year. And I just thought I'd come to you with some that my little boy Charlie particularly enjoys, and then if you have little ones or people that you want to buy gifts for, potentially nieces and nephews, goddaughters, godsons, then perhaps some of these would be of interest. So I'm going to kick off with one that we actually got in the library this week. I'd never heard of it before, just picked it up on the off chance, and he absolutely loves it. And that is Ahlberg's Tree by Jenny Desond. So this is a lovely little book that follows Ahlberg, who wakes up from his hibernation and goes up his favourite tree to find that his tree is crying. And it's about what Ahlberg does to try and make his tree feel better, with a little twist at the end. This was absolutely perfect for my 2-year-old. He loved it. He particularly likes it when the tree cries very loudly. So yeah, I would highly recommend this one. And I just think the illustrations are beautiful. So Ahlberg's Tree is number 1. This isn't in any order, just number 1 that I was speaking about. It depends on the day as to which ranks number 1. So the second one is probably one that everybody's heard of. That's Each Peach, Pear, Plum by Janet and Alan Ahlberg. My parents read this to me when I was a kid. I read it to my older son, and now I read it to Charlie. And this is a classic. And the best part about this is that they have to find the thing on each page. So I'm probably preaching to the converters here, but on the first page you have to find Tom Thumb. Each peach, pear, plum, I spy Tom Thumb. And they're very easy to find characters, so they're ideal for very young children who want to get involved with the I spy type situation. So yeah, absolutely recommend this one. Ageless, timeless classic. You can't go wrong with that one. The next one I'm going to talk about is Never Touch My Dinosaur. So this is very good for really young children. I don't know if you can see, but it's textured. So each page has a different texture on for the different dinosaurs. So it is a great introduction to reading where children can really get engaged with what's happening on the page. And yeah, every dinosaur is slightly different, and they love it when they're not supposed to do something, but then you actually let them do it. Do not touch that dinosaur, and then they can touch it and they're like, ah, I'm so naughty. So yes, highly recommend this one. I don't think I told you the author, illustrated by Stuart Lynch. It doesn't actually say who the author is, but illustrated by Stuart Lynch. Oh, written by Rosie Greening. There we go. In tiny little letters on the back. So yeah, recommend this one. I think there are a couple of others in the series. I think there's a shark one and another one as well. So yeah, would highly recommend picking those up, especially for like a newborn gift or something like that. It's a perfect first book. The next one I'm going to talk about is 10 Little Dinosaurs. Again, there are various iterations of this. I think there's 10 Little Monsters, 10 Little Princesses, 10 Little Pirates. So basically you just go through and you start with 10 dinosaurs at the beginning and they all get knocked off basically. But you get to the end and find out they're not actually all dead. So it's not quite that macabre for a children's book. But this is absolutely fantastic for teaching kids how to count. So Charlie loves to go through and point at them while I count the numbers. And yeah, we also have this in a paperback version because we just got bought 2 and I never got around to exchanging it, which actually means that now at night time we have to have the hardback version and the paperback version, because obviously why wouldn't you do that in a 2-year-old's mind? So yeah, this one definitely hits the top 10 for Charlie. The next one I'm going to talk about is Mopoke by Philip Bunting. Now, I'd never heard of this book. Charlie got bought this for his birthday by my best friend, who's a primary school teacher, so she always knows the good books. So this follows a Mopoke, which is apparently some sort of Australian owl. But this is really about interacting with the pictures. So on every page you have a different iteration. So on this page you have 2 pokes, and Charlie's personal favourite, Fee Fi Fo Poke. So yes, every page has a different poke on it, and Charlie literally wets himself at every page, so it's a success. So yes, I'd absolutely recommend this one. It's also a nice colour palette that's nice and easy for the kids to follow. So yeah, recommend this one, and it would probably be quite nice as a sort of early reader because the words are quite simple. So yeah, recommend that one. This next one was one that I bought for my older son, so it's been in the house for the best part of a decade. And that is Rain by Sam Usher. This book follows a little boy, this little boy here, who's at home with his granddad, and he wants to go out in the rain and have an adventure. And his granddad is busy and writing letters and stuff, and then eventually they get to go to the post box, and it's a magical trip to the post box where they ride in a gondola, and there's acrobats, and it's all very magical. And it just, especially the children who like puddle jumping and that sort of thing, as mine certainly does, this one went down a treat with both of them. The next book that I'm going to talk about is the flavour of the month. So this is Blown Away by Rob Biddulph. Again, this is one that my 8-year-old liked when he was little too. And this follows Penguin Blue as he gets blown away by a kite. His friends try to save him, but they also get blown away by the kite. And they end up in a jungle and have to find their way back. It's told in rhyme. So not dissimilar to the Julia Donaldson style of writing. But it's a lovely story, and Charlie loves Penguin Blue and likes to point him out on every page. And this is a spoiler, so fast forward now if you don't want to know what happens at the end. But they have a stowaway. So this little chappie stays away from the jungle, and we find that very funny, that there is a cheeky monkey that has escaped the jungle with Penguin Blue, and we try and find him on the pages when he has escaped, because he's a very cheeky monkey. The next one I'm going to talk about is I Want My Hat Back by John Klassen. So this is one of those perfect books that the children like, but also has an element of funniness for the adult that's reading it. So this follows a bear who's looking for his hat, and he asks lots of people where to find his hat. And I'm not going to say much more than that because I don't want to spoil the story. But it has a funny little twist at the end, and it's great because he just goes around and meets all the lots of different forest creatures. Again, beautiful illustrations, and yeah, would absolutely recommend I Want My Hat Back. Next up, a very popular children's author, Oliver Jeffers. We do have another book by Oliver Jeffers, How to Catch a Star, which is probably his most well-known one. This is Stuck, and again, this is hilarious. This is so funny. Charlie absolutely loves it. It's about a little boy who gets his kite stuck in the tree and all of the silly things he does to try and get his kite out of the tree. I won't tell you any more than that because, again, it can be quite amusing for the adult to read this one. Or I thought it was amusing. May just be because I have the mental age of a 5-year-old, but there we go. So yes, Stuck by Oliver Jeffers is, I think that's our 9th one that I've talked about, so definitely recommend. Last up on my list, again, I have 2 by this author, and these are perfect as gifts, and that is The Worm and the Bird by Coralie Bickford-Smith. I mean, seriously, how beautiful is that? We also have The Fox and the Star by Coralie. These are both written and illustrated by this author, and they are just stunning, absolutely stunning. Every single page is just beautiful, beautifully illustrated. The writing is quite minimal, so you can move through the story and really just talk about what's happening on the page with your child. Now, Charlie absolutely loves birds, like his favourite creature. So the fact that obviously one of the main characters in this story is a bird, the bird, he really loves it. Really, really loves it. And I can't recommend these highly enough. And as I say, absolutely perfect for a gift. I think there's another 2 that are similar to this that we don't have. So yeah, would recommend The Worm and the Bird. So that's a relatively short video for me, but I just wanted to talk through some of our favourite picture books that we have in our house. Obviously there are many, many more. Charlie's room is pretty much a library of children's books, and he of course loves all the standard, the Peppa Pig ones and the Thomas the Tank Engine ones and all those sorts of ones, but I just wanted to try and highlight some that he loves that are possibly a little bit less well known, that you might want to try out with the children in your lives. All right, well, it was lovely to see you again. If this was useful, please like and subscribe. Obviously if you didn't like this content, then don't do those things. But I will be back with a more sort of standard adult fiction type video on Saturday. Okay, all right, thanks guys, bye.